There's no escape, Joker. I will find you.
I'm counting on it, just not yet.
Few titles have had the impact on superhero video games that Batman Arkham Asylum had.
He's here!
When it released in 2009, the genre of superhero games was still struggling to find its identity.
You took longer than I thought.
Many adaptations existed, but very few managed to truly capture what it meant to play as these iconic characters. Arkham Asylum changed that. Developed by Rocksteady Studios, the game would become the first entry in what many consider to be the greatest superhero trilogy ever made. More importantly, it showed what could happen when a studio genuinely understands and respects the material it's adapting. The Arkham trilogy is what happens when developers truly love the source material.
It's true! You really are the world's greatest detective!
The game clearly draws inspiration from decades of Batman history, from comic books to Batman the Animated Series, from Tim Burton
I'm Batman.
to Christopher Nolan,
I'm Batman.
while still creating a distinct identity of its own. At the same time, Arkham Asylum redefined combat in action games. Its now famous free-flow combat system introduced a fluid rhythm of attacks, counters, combos, and special moves that would go on to influence countless action titles in the years that followed. For this review, the version played was the one included in the Arkham collection, which gathers the trilogy together for modern platforms. The core experience, however, remains essentially the same. Even today, Arkham Asylum still stands as one of the most important superhero games ever made.
There is no crane. They're over me! Only Scarecrow.
Mechanically, Arkham Asylum is built around a combination of combat, stealth, gadgets, and exploration, all designed around one central idea: making the player feel like Batman.
Our friendly neighborhood rodent is on his way.
Controls, however, are not perfect. Movement can feel somewhat heavy and imprecise at times, partly due to camera positioning and partly due to the way Batman's animations interact with the environment. Running and navigating tight spaces can occasionally feel a little clumsy. Combat, on the other hand, is nothing short of revolutionary. Arkham Asylum introduced what became known as the free-flow combat system. A system built around chaining attacks, counters, and special moves into fluid combos. At its core are a few simple inputs: attack, counter, stun, evade, allowing Batman to move quickly between enemies while building momentum through combos. The brilliance of the system lies in how accessible it is while still allowing mastery. When everything flows correctly, combat almost feels like choreography, a violent rhythm of punches, counters, and takedowns that make the player feel genuinely like the Dark Knight dismantling groups of criminals. Exploration is not the primary focus of the game, but it still plays an important role. Arkham Island hides a number of secrets, Easter eggs, and collectibles, most notably the challenges created by the Riddler. These puzzles and trophies are scattered throughout the map and often require gadgets unlocked later in the story, encouraging players to revisit previously explored areas. Gadgets are essential to the experience. Batman's arsenal includes tools such as batarangs, the Batclaw, and explosive gel, all of which become available progressively during the story. While their variety and application are still somewhat limited compared to the later entries in the series, they form the foundation that the sequels would expand dramatically. Stealth is the other cornerstone of the gameplay. Batman is a character defined by fear and darkness, and Arkham Asylum captures this beautifully.
Who am I kidding?
In the so-called Predator sections, Batman stalks enemies from above using gargoyles, ventilation shafts, and shadows. From these vantage points, he can perform silent takedowns, inverter takedowns, light kicks, or carefully planned traps using gadgets. What makes these encounters particularly interesting is the enemy AI. As criminals begin to realize they are being hunted, their behavior changes. They become nervous, paranoid, and increasingly aggressive. This gradual escalation transforms the player from prey into predator, reinforcing the fantasy of Batman as a figure who weaponizes fear itself. Progression in the game comes through both narrative and experience points. New gadgets are unlocked during the story, while upgrades can be purchased, using the experience earned through combat performance and mission progression. These upgrades affect melee combat, armor, and gadget efficiency, providing meaningful improvements to the gameplay. Level design is also very strong. Many areas are clearly built around stealth encounters, allowing players to experiment with different approaches. The game also introduces memorable gameplay variations, particularly during boss encounters or unique sequences such as the psychological nightmare levels involving Scarecrow, or the tense sewer section with Killer Croc. The Riddler challenges also deserve a special mention. Some of these puzzles are straightforward collectibles, while others require observation and clever gadget use. Throughout these challenges, the Riddler constantly taunts Batman, adding personality and humor while encouraging players to engage with the environment.
I would have expected a child to work that one out, let alone the world's greatest detective.
If there is one aspect that feels slightly underdeveloped, it's Batman's detective side.
The safe. The only question now is, who opened it?
The narrative occasionally presents investigative elements, but in gameplay, these are mostly limited to using detective mode to follow simple clues. Considering the character's reputation as the world's greatest detective, it is perhaps an area that could have been explored more deeply.
Oracle, I found Dr. Young's formula.
Great. So does that mean you've stopped Joker?
It's never this simple with him.
It wants Dr. Young's login.
Never mind that. Get behind me, now. Bane.
The story of Arkham Asylum begins with Batman escorting his greatest enemy, the Joker, back to the infamous asylum.
I don't mind walking.
It quickly becomes clear that the capture was part of a larger plan.
He surrendered almost without a fight. I don't like it.
Once inside Arkham, Joker orchestrates a massive breakout, unleashing many of Gotham's most dangerous criminals and turning the asylum into a chaotic battlefield.
Mr. J doesn't want you following us just yet.
Batman must regain control of the island while uncovering the Joker's plan to use the experimental Titan formula to create an army of monstrous supercriminals capable of threatening Gotham itself.
Unexpected, wasn't it? Well.
The narrative draws loose inspiration from the famous graphic novel Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth, though the tone of the game is somewhat lighter than the famously psychological and disturbing story. At times, the game seems unsure about exactly which tone of Batman it wants to embrace. Some elements lean towards the stylized and theatrical tone of the animated series, particularly the characterization of Joker and his henchmen.
Get him, boys! If he gets up, knock him down, but not too rough. Mr. J keeps him at the party.
At other moments, the darker and more grounded atmosphere popularized by the Nolan films seems to influence the presentation.
Officer Ball's trail stops here.
This tonal mixture is not necessarily negative, but it does create a slightly inconsistent identity. Later entries in the series would handle this balance more clearly.
Let's see, A, no that's not right, so it's B, Bane... Ah! Here it is, Batman!
In terms of characters, however, the game excels. Batman himself is perfectly portrayed. Calm, controlled, and unshakable. He is always thinking ahead, always analyzing the situation, and never loses the composure, even in the most dangerous circumstances. The Joker is equally outstanding.
What? Don't you trust me?
Unpredictable, cruel, and strangely charismatic. He constantly appears through television screens and loudspeakers across Arkham, mocking Batman and delivering a constant stream of dark humor and psychological manipulation. Other villains also play important roles throughout the story, including characters such as Bane, Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, and Killer Croc.
We'll find you. Rip your flesh like paper.
Each encounter introduces a different type of gameplay challenge, while reinforcing the richness of Batman's rogue gallery. The game hides numerous references for longtime fans, from the presence of Ra's al Ghul's body in the morgue, to Clayface disguising himself in a prison cell, or the infamous Calendar Man cameo. Arkham Asylum is filled with small details that reward knowledge of the wider Batman mythos. Dialogue writing is generally excellent, particularly in the interactions between Batman and Joker.
Everyone always said I should be in television.
The sharp exchanges between them often manage to be both humorous and unsettling.
It's over, Joker. Over? Why, my dear delusional Dark Knight.
One weaker area is the series of recorded interview tapes scattered throughout the game.
What is it that walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, and finally 3 legs?
While these recordings attempt to expand the psychological profiles of various villains, their writing and performances somehow feel slightly less polished than the rest of the narrative.
Is this another one of those boring psych evaluation tests?
Even so, the overall storytelling remains engaging and well-paced.
Radio claims he's planted bombs all over Gotham. Gotham will panic. You're needed there.
We're ready to go now, sir.
Bane called Dr. Young Bruja. What does it mean?
It's Spanish for witch.
There's a plant growing deep in Arkham Island. Only it can counter the effects of this Titan strain.
Where do I find it?
Oh, in Killer Croc's lair. You didn't think it would be easy, did you?
Go back to your cell, or I'll be after you next.
And I'll be waiting.
Visually, Arkham Asylum embraces a strong stylized identity rooted in the comic book tradition. Rather than aiming for pure realism, the game draws heavily from the gothic atmosphere often associated with Batman's world. The aesthetic feels closer to the dark, exaggerated style of Tim Burton's films than the grounded realism of Christopher Nolan's interpretation. Arkham Island itself feels almost like a character. From the stormy exterior grounds to the decaying interiors of the asylum buildings, the environment is oppressive and unsettling. Flickering lights, narrow corridors, and towering gothic architecture reinforce the sense that this place is both a prison and a nightmare. Technically, the game was also very impressive for its time. Character models are particularly strong. Batman's suit gradually becomes more damaged as the story progresses, while characters like Joker and Harley Quinn feature detailed textures and expressive designs that give life to their personalities.
In case you ain't figured it out, today is the Joker's big homecoming and you're the guest of honor.
You have one chance to surrender, Quinn.
The environments are rich and atmospheric, blending horror-inspired architecture with comic book aesthetics. Every wing of the asylum feels distinct, from medical facilities and penitentiary blocks to botanical areas overrun by Poison Ivy's influence.
He's found us, but I won't let him hurt you.
Animations are another highlight.
Look who's finally turned up, the Dark Knight himself.
Combat sequences are fast, fluid, and varied, with Batman transitioning seamlessly between enemies. The choreography of punches, counters, and takedowns gives fight a cinematic quality while never sacrificing gameplay responsiveness. One element that could perhaps have been expanded is customization. Batman's appearance remains fixed throughout the game, and players do not have the option to equip different suits or visual variations. Considering the long history of the character across comics, films, and animated series, a few costume options could have been an interesting addition.
Die, you big ugly bat!
At the same time, it is also understandable that the developers chose to maintain a single, consistent design. The suit presented in Arkham Asylum is very much part of the identity of this particular story and interpretation of Batman. In that sense, the decision to keep the visual presentation focused and cohesive is also a respectable one. Overall, Arkham Asylum successfully creates a visual identity that feels both authentic to Batman and distinct within the world of video games.
Why didn't you stop Batman? Me? It was your plan, you goofy clown! I'm sending you back to the ventriloquist where you belong.
Sound design plays a major role in shaping the atmosphere of Arkham Asylum. The soundtrack, composed by Nick Arundel and Ron Fish, blends orchestral tension with darker tonal elements that reflect the oppressive nature of Arkham itself. The music often builds subtly in the background, reinforcing moments of suspense without overwhelming the action. Combat sound effects are particularly effective. Each punch, kick, and impact lands with a sharp, satisfying sound that emphasizes the physicality and brutality of Batman's fighting style. The audio feedback reinforces the rhythm of combat, making every successful combo feel powerful and impactful. Voice acting, however, is where the game truly shines.
You know, Bats, I always thought there was a spark between us.
Legendary performances from Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker bring enormous authenticity to the experience.
I'll give you this one for free. Knock me off, I dare you. End this. Pull the plug. Stop me once and for all.
Both actors reprise their iconic roles from Batman the Animated Series, and their performances remain some of the most memorable portrayals of these characters in any medium.
That's not fair. Come on, get in! So, you want to play hardball, Bats, do you? Your call. Pickle, pickle. No!
The supporting cast is equally strong.
I don't know, Red. You're not on Mr. J's party list. Oh well.
Please!
What the heck? I'll cut you a break.
Performances from actors such as Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn and Tom Kane as Commissioner Gordon help reinforce the feeling that these are the definitive versions of these characters.
Long night, Jim.
Joker invades City Hall and holds the mayor hostage, leaving it to me to juggle SWAT teams, the media, and you. Yeah, it's been a hell of a night.
The dialogue between Batman and Joker is particularly memorable, blending tension, sarcasm, and psychological manipulation in a way that perfectly captures the long-standing rivalry between these two characters.
There's no escape, Joker.
Silly Bat! I don't want to escape. I'm having way too much fun.
As mentioned earlier, the only noticeable drop in quality appears in some of the interview tapes scattered throughout Arkham, where performances occasionally feel slightly less refined compared to the main narrative scenes.
Dr. Murphy is still confounded. I wanted to understand him. His personal demons, his fears. It's all quite fascinating, really.
Still, overall, the voice acting and sound design contribute enormously to the atmosphere and identity of the game, helping bring the world of Arkham to life.
I will break you, Batman! Then the Bruja!
No, Bane. This time I break you!
My little bat, you're in my world now.
Batman Arkham Asylum is more than just a successful superhero game. It is the moment where the genre finally found its formula.
You want some of this?
By combining fluid combat, tense stealth mechanics, strong writing, and a deep respect for the character's legacy, Rocksteady created something that feels unmistakably authentic to Batman.
Look who's discovered our secret lab.
The game captures the essence of the Dark Knight in a way that few adaptations ever have, balancing brutality, intelligence, and psychological tension within a world that feels both dangerous and fascinating.
Let's start the party with a bang.
It is one of the greatest superhero games ever made, but also one of the most influential action games of its generation. To this day, stepping back into Arkham still feels like stepping into the dark heart of Gotham itself. If you enjoyed this review, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And, as always, thank you for your time.
So now he has Venom and your formula.
God, he has gallons of the stuff. There's a lab, hidden in the gardens. It's locked off, but the security key codes for the entire island are in the warden's safe.
What else is Joker planning?
How should I know? You think anything he says makes sense? I think he's insane. Oh my God!
Get out of the way!